You want to be liberated from the chaos of working in your business, and we're here to help you do it. This is Scott Beebe, the founder and the head coach of the Business on Purpose platform. And take a listen in as we answer a real life in the trench question for one of our small business owners. The question about business finances and the money, because quite honestly, this is really a stewardship issue. Regardless of your faith background, your convictions, this really is a stewardship issue, the opportunity to be able to realize that the resources that you receive in exchange for the services that you offer, those resources hopefully outweigh the services you offer in terms of what we call profit, not necessarily in service, but in profit. And then from that service, we need to be able to come in and say, all right, what do we do with this? How do we leverage these tools, these resources, whether we've got a lot of resource coming in or we've barely got resource at all coming in. And so let's talk about this issue of finances. When your bookkeeping is a mess, how do you get back on track? First thing you need to realize right out of the gate, don't try to fix this by yourself. If you're off track in your business finances, don't try to fix this by yourself. And also, what's that old adage? Admit you have a problem. It's okay. We tell people all the time, if we were to line up 20 small business owners, guys, I want you to hear this. If we were to line up 20 small business owners, 16 of them would really be struggling. You've heard that old phrase, the emperor's wearing no clothes. Well, if we were to line up 20 business owners, about 16 of them, if you really peered inside, it's kind of creepy actually if you think of it this way, but they'd kind of be organizationally naked. Maybe we should put it that way, all right? They don't have it all figured out. Only 3 of those 20s would kind of have it figured out, and really only about 1 would have it nailed, all right? You need to understand that if you're kind of out of whack on your finances, you are not alone. In fact, you're in the majority. So let's step back, just admit it, all right? We're a little bit out of control in chaos on our finances, and let's do something different, all right? So that's the first thing that I want you to do. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to go to the bank and set up 5 bank accounts, all right? That's why I told Jay. He's going to know exactly where I'm going with this. I want you to set up 5 bank accounts. The first one, and this goes off the model, if you've never read the book, Profit First, go read that book by Mike Michalowicz. Don't worry about figuring out how his name's spelled. Just Google Profit First. You'll see the book. Make sure to go read that book, and within the first 70 pages, you will get it. You will absolutely get it. And I want you to set up 5 accounts. The first account is what's called your income account. That's where every dime of revenue from your services will come into that one account. Once it's in there, every so often, Michalowicz recommends on the 10th and 25th of the month, we actually do it every other week, you're going to flush that account into the 4 other accounts. Now, we leave $100 in there just in case. But you're going to flush that first account in those 4 others. Those 4 others are profit account, owner's compensation account, tax account, and then the account for your actual operating expenditures. Now, go read Profit First for all of you who want to do this. Listen, even if you're on track, this is a wise methodology to follow. We've been doing it for quite some time. In fact, we've helped transition many businesses into this model, and it has brought immediate relief into what they're seeing from a stewardship and a financial perspective. So make sure that you go read that book and follow that wisdom, because it's super helpful advice. The third thing is, so the first thing, if you're kind of off track, you need a little bit of help in the chaos, the first thing to do is admit, hey, I'm chaotic, I'm out of control, but also realize at the same time that you're not alone, all right? The second thing to do is what we just talked about, is go set up those 5 accounts and go read that book, Profit First. If you don't have it, go buy it. Go get the Kindle version, go buy the hard, whatever you've got to do, go buy the book. I've never even met Mike. I've talked with one of his guys one time, but it has radically transformed a lot of people. By the way, as I mentioned earlier, if you know some small business owners who need this wisdom, share this post if you don't mind. That would be fantastic. The third thing, don't do this alone. Don't do this alone. Outsource it. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, I don't have the money to outsource this. And my response to you is going to be very short and very brief, is that you don't have the time and the money not to do this. All right? This is a priority. There are so many capable, good folks out there who can help you with the bookkeeping aspect of this. If you don't know any, just message us. We'll let you know of some folks that are out there. We'll give you a bunch of different options so that you know somebody that can help just walk you through this. Listen, you're a business owner. You started the business because you love the service that you offer. You did not start the business so that you would be knee-deep in QuickBooks, all right? Don't worry about trying to do this yourself. Don't take this on by yourself.
Work with somebody who knows exactly what it is that they're doing so they can walk you methodically and, get this word, unemotionally through the process. Why? Because when we're dealing with money, there's a lot of emotion involved. Some people think you should take more. Some people think you should take less. You know what I say? Work with somebody who can kind of help you objectively walk through this situation. Don't do it alone. So number one, admit I'm chaotic and I need help. Number two, come back and set up those 5 bank accounts. Then go find a professional who can help you, because for a few $100 a month, they're going to be able to take this stress off. And for the hour or 3 hours or 4 hours that you do this every month, at your average business owner wage of at minimum $170 an hour, you will more than pay for this. So please don't do it alone. The fourth and final piece of wisdom I think would be helpful for you, for any of you who are off track. By the way, this works for personal finance too, is to go through those items I just talked about. And then number 4, set to meet weekly and to review metrics. We just had one of our team members set us up with a simple spreadsheet of simple metrics that we start reviewing. We're going to start reviewing every single week. All right? And it's just a spreadsheet. That's it. Nothing fancy, no special app, nothing like that. Remember, we're not into rocket science. What we're into is effectiveness. That's what we're looking for. So 4 things that you can do right out of the gate if you're starting to feel a little chaotic in your finances. Number 1 is don't fix this by yourself and realize you're not alone, and just step back and admit and say, you know what, I need more clarity in this, because it is a stewardship issue. Number 2, set up those 5 bank accounts as outlined by Profit First. I think I just saw Steve mention that he's already reading the book. Keep going, but don't just stop at reading it. Implement it. Go to the bank. And if you go to a bank and they won't do it, go to our bank locally, Atlantic. They'll do it for you, all right? And if your bank won't do it, go get another bank, all right? Number 3, outsource it. Find somebody who's better than you at this task, all right? At the bookkeeping, collecting, reconciling, all that. Go find somebody and pay them. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. And then 4th, set up a weekly review time to go be able to do that. So, hey, I want you to type in some questions that you might have around the finances here that either we can deal with here on this post. We're about to wrap this up. I do want to tell you a resource that we have put together for all of you who are small business owners, and you want to know, hey, what are the non-negotiable things for me to go achieve actual profit in the business? I'm not talking about all that margin stuff people talk about and net income statements that are on there. Man, that net income number is irrelevant to me. You know what I want to know? How do I achieve actual profit in the business? Profit that I can go leverage and use not only for my family, but also use for the different things that we want to be able to contribute and serve and give to. Well, we've put together a resource. I'm glad you asked. I know it's backwards, but 11 non-negotiables to ensure profit in the for you as a small business owner. I need to see if I can turn this thing around. And if you want it, all you got to do is go. It's totally free, by the way. We totally built this out. It's like a big checklist. It's multiple pages in a checklist, and you can just go. It's really cool looking. And if you just go to mybusinessonpurpose.com/guide, mybusinessonpurpose.com/guide, Guide, then you can get this here. No strings attached, totally free. I would print it out and keep it with me and keep it right next to me so that you can continue to build out and understands what the non-negotiables are for you if you're a little bit off track in your finances or in your business as a whole. Bottom line is, guys, we're here to liberate you from the chaos of working in your business. And one of the ways that we can do that is help you think with great clarity around the mundane issues of everyday business. And that's what happens with your finances. So I'd appreciate it if you'd share this post. I know a lot of folks are struggling with this in the small business space. And then head on over. I'll put the link in the Facebook as soon as I finish this. mybusinessonpurpose.com/guide. And we'll make sure that we get you this super cool 11 non-negotiables to ensure profit in your business.
Now it's time to implement. Want more free resources to help liberate you from your chaos? Go to mybusinessonpurpose.com. We would love to have you share and write a review of this podcast. It'd be our delight. But here's the bottom line for you. It's time to implement. With all of these questions, the feedback, the insight, if you don't implement, well, it's what Joe Calloway said. Vision without implementation is hallucination. So go live out your business on purpose.